We spend hours, literally hours, every single day scrolling through feeds that feel like they were made just for us. But have you ever stopped to wonder who or what is actually making those choices? And maybe more importantly, why? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible algorithms that are shaping what you see, what you think, and even how you feel online.
You know the feeling, right? You post something you're really proud of, and crickets. 3 likes. Meanwhile, some random blurry photo of someone's cat goes completely viral. Or maybe you've noticed your feed is suddenly just angry all the time. It feels random, confusing, and yeah, sometimes it feels a little manipulative. So, what is really going on here? We've all been sold this pretty picture of a helpful digital assistant, sorting through all the internet noise to find us the good stuff. But that is only half the story. The truth is, these algorithms aren't neutral, not at all. They are incredibly sophisticated tools, and they've been designed with a very specific corporate purpose in mind. And spoiler alert, that purpose is not necessarily our own well-being. Right, so this whole curation thing feels like an invisible hand guiding our experience. To really get how it gained so much control, we need to rewind a bit and see how it went from a simple stream of updates to the super complex system we have today. In the beginning, things were so much simpler. You saw what your friends posted right when they posted it. Easy. But as these platforms just exploded in size, seeing everything became impossible. Instagram actually found that we were missing something like 70% of the posts from people we chose to follow. So the platform stepped in to help by showing us what they thought we'd care about most. It started with simple things like sorting by likes, but it quickly morphed into this complex system designed to maximize one very specific thing: your engagement. Okay, so this big shift to engagement-based feeds, it created a whole industry of experts and gurus trying to teach us how to hack the algorithm. And in doing that, they sold us a lot of myths that, honestly, many of us still believe. It is time to debunk the biggest lies we're told about how to get seen online. This is the big one. We all chase follower counts thinking they're a measure of influence, but the platforms have basically turned it into a vanity metric. And why would they do that? Simple. Their business model depends on it. They intentionally throttle your reach. They squeeze it so that to get in front of the very audience you worked so hard to build, you feel forced to open your wallet and buy ads. It's a pay-to-play system, plain and simple. We have all seen those charts, right? Post at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday for maximum engagement. But the real secret isn't the time on the clock. It's the velocity. See, when you post something, the algorithm shows it to a small test group of your followers. If they engage with it fast, we're talking likes, comments, shares right away, it gets pushed out to a much wider audience. If that reaction is slow, your post gets buried. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. Hashtags used to be a really powerful tool for discovery, but today, they're more like filing labels. They help the algorithm figure out what your content is about, but they are not going to make a mediocre post go viral. I mean, think about it. A truly amazing, hilarious video can take off with 0 hashtags, but a boring post isn't going to be saved by 30 of them. The real key isn't the tag. It's making content that people genuinely want to share. So if all the common wisdom about followers and timing and hashtags is basically wrong, then what's right? Well, to find the answer, we have to look at what this engagement engine is actually built to do and what the platforms really want from us.
This quote from a former FTC commissioner just lays the whole business model bare. It's not about connecting you with your friends. It is about 2 things and 2 things only: keeping you on the platform for as long as humanly possible and guiding you towards actions that make the company money. Every single line of code is designed to serve those 2 goals. Your attention is the product that's being sold to advertisers.
So how do you keep people hooked for that long? Well, researchers have found that algorithms have learned to amplify a very specific type of content that is almost irresistible to the human brain. They call it prime information. That's an acronym for prestigious, so from influential people; in-group, from people like us; moral, content that triggers our sense of right and wrong; and emotional. This stuff is the algorithm's secret sauce. And here's why prime content is so darn effective. It's not a flaw in our character, it's a feature of our evolution. I mean, for thousands of years, paying attention to these signals was essential for survival. It kept us safe, it kept our groups together. The algorithms didn't invent these biases, they just built a multi-billion-dollar system to hijack them, exploiting our deepest instincts just to keep us scrolling. Now, the natural result of feeding us what we already like is the creation of what we call echo chambers. The algorithm sees you like something, so it gives you more of it. It sees you interact with certain people, so it connects you with more people just like them. This is all fueled by two really natural human tendencies: selective exposure, our desire for info that confirms what we already believe, and homophily, our tendency to stick with our own tribe. The algorithm just puts this whole process on steroids. This might all sound a bit abstract, lines of code and psychology, but the consequences of this finely tuned engagement engine are anything but. The system that keeps us glued to our screens has tangible and often devastating effects on both society at large and on our own personal well-being. This research gives us a really stark visual of that effect. Scientists actually measured how uniform the echo chambers are in different video apps. On this chart, a lower bar means a more intense bubble, a place where everyone is being shown the same narrow viewpoints. You can see how platforms like Douyin create these incredibly dense bubbles. And even on a global app like TikTok, the polarizing effect is still really, really powerful. So what happens when you trap people in these uniform bubbles and feed them a constant diet of that moral and emotional prime content? The result is pretty predictable. The space for nuance just disappears. The other side becomes a caricature. And this isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature of a machine that's optimized for engagement. As whistleblower Frances Haugen put it, the system amplifies division and extremism because, frankly, that's what keeps us clicking. And in the most extreme cases, the consequences are a matter of life and death. This disclosure from Haugen shows that the amplification of hate and misinformation isn't just a hypothetical risk. The very same algorithmic mechanics that can polarize an election were allegedly used to fuel a real-world genocide, with the company fully aware of what was happening.
But the harm isn't just societal, it's deeply personal. The algorithm's addiction to emotional content leads to doom scrolling, trapping us in these endless cycles of anxiety and bad news. All those curated highlight reels create an impossible standard of comparison, leading to what some researchers have literally called Facebook depression. And the endless notifications and the infinite scroll, they're designed like a slot machine to hook our brains on dopamine, creating genuine addiction and that gnawing fear of missing out. And this is the brutal cost, revealed in the company's own internal files. 13.5%. That is the percentage of teen girls who say Instagram actively makes thoughts of suicide and self-harm worse. This isn't some unforeseen side effect. This is the direct fallout of an engine that was designed for profit, not for people.
Okay, that was heavy, I know. But the point of understanding all this isn't to despair, it's to empower ourselves. We can't change the algorithm overnight, but we absolutely can change our relationship with it. So let's talk about how to take back control of our feeds and our focus. Here are 4 practical, research-backed steps you can take today. First, set hard time limits. Studies show that cutting your use to just 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce anxiety and loneliness. Second, curate consciously. Be a ruthless editor of your own feed. Unfollow or mute anything that makes you feel bad. Third, engage with a purpose. Don't just open the app out of boredom, open it to do something specific, like message a friend. And finally, number 4, add friction. Make it harder for your brain to get that instant hit by disabling notifications and burying those apps deep in a folder. Break the cycle. Look, it all comes down to this. The algorithm is a tool, and it has one relentless goal: to maximize engagement for profit. But you are not a passive user. You have goals too. So the next time you open that app, just ask yourself, are you there to achieve your goal, or are you just helping the algorithm achieve its?